Hey guys, Bondo here. I'm out in the shop today working on my Allen AT16 concrete track buggy. You see it there in the background. I got the tracks ripped off of it and all that. Been having some problems with the seals leaking out of the transmission on one side of the buggy. And I want to give you some insight on how to get these seals for this because they're real hard to find. And I searched for like 6 hours to find seals for this thing that would work without buying complete rebuild kits for the transmission, which there's a company you can get them through, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But stay with us. I'm going to show you what I did basically just to get it apart so I can access these seals, and I'll show you the seal that I found online in the company that I got the seal from, and all that good stuff. So it's gonna be a quick video for you guys, but this could save you a lot of money and a lot of time if you got one of these track buggies, because eventually that seal is gonna tear out on you, it's gonna leak. So this could be a good video for you. I know I wish I had this video before I looked for these seals because it was a pain. Stay with us. All right guys, so how did I get to here? So let's talk about it. This buggy has transmissions in it, basically like a zero steer lawnmower. And here's these transmissions, and I will show you what they look like on a website and where you can purchase them, because I did find where you can purchase them. There's a place on eBay that you can get them, and that guy actually works on these buggies, so I'll give you all his information as soon as I talk to him. I got to call out to him, make sure that he's good with me giving out his information on YouTube, but I'm sure he will be. But anyways, this side of the buggy was leaking. Basically, this thing has hydraulic fluid in it, which is actually 2050 oil. It's not even hydraulic fluid. So this is where you put it in. See how it says hydraulic fluid, but then it says use 2050 motor oil only. So there's a reservoir down in here that you put your hydraulic fluid in. It's basically in here where the battery is. There's a tank. It holds a couple, 2.5 gallons or so. And that hydraulic fluid runs these drives. This thing's got tracks on it, which are laying over there on the floor because I got them off right now to work on it. But these track buggies are in a terrible environment, as you can imagine, because we're running over mud and rocks and stone and right through concrete and everything. So the tracks get all full of crap. You want to keep them clean. And also these hydraulic drives will get full of mud, and sometimes concrete gets up in here, and eventually it'll ruin the seal here. And what happens when the seal goes bad is all that hydraulic fluid just dumps right out onto the floor, or if you're outside, it'll dump onto the ground. So it creates a big mess. So this happened to me last year. Basically, that seal went bad, and all of a sudden in my other shop, I had a big, huge puddle of oil on the floor. So all of a sudden, it doesn't really want to move or whatever because all my hydraulic fluid dumped out. And also that affects this dump. There's a cylinder right here, just a regular, same type of cylinder you'd have on a wood splitter or something, just a hydraulic cylinder. And that's what operates the dump on this thing. Some of these dumps swivel and everything, but this one here is just a straight dumper with the tracks. Some of these buggies are wheeled, and I'm not sure how they work. I think they might be hydraulic drive too, hydrostatic or whatever, but I'm not sure of that because I don't own one. I like this tracked one. So anyways, basically seal went bad, dumped out the fluid on the floor, and I'm like, okay, we'll just get a new seal. And I do a lot of my own maintenance, so me and my handyman Greg ripped this thing apart, and we proceeded to try to find this seal here and replace that seal. So like I said, this was last year. We could not find the seal anywhere online that you can buy, just that seal. I couldn't even find any rebuild kits or nothing to do anything to do with that hydraulics, that whole hydraulic thing. And I didn't want to. I think they're in the neighborhood of $2,500 to $3,000 per side for these hydraulic drives. So obviously didn't want to replace the whole drive because it was working fine except that seal that leaked. So what we ended up doing is kind of pulling the old seal out of there, and we took it to a bearing and seal place up in Syracuse, New York, and we had them measure it and see if they could find us a seal. And they told us to go to Napa and get a seal. So we did that. We went to Napa and we purchased a seal. Greg did, and we put it in the buggy, and we thought all was good. So we started using the buggy, and it didn't last. I mean, this seal didn't last a month, not even. And we really didn't even use the buggy in the concrete too much. It was just like for dirt work and stuff. So I'm going to show you that seal. There's Rowan. Ro. What you doing, Bob? What you doing? What you doing? Okay, guys, so I'm going to show you the seal that we started with last year. This is the seal. You don't want the seal. This is the seal that did not work for us. So basically, that's the number of the seal. This is the seal we tried. We only had one side tore apart. So this seal seemed to fit good and everything, but it didn't hold up. And I think because it's only got one lip on it, it had, you know, a rubber band type of thing around here, which is almost like a spring, not a rubber band, made out of metal, like a metal spring. This thing's a little messed up, but that's the one that you don't want. Okay, guys, so this is the seal. I mean, obviously it's broken up because I took it out of the other side. So this seal has a number on it, but I couldn't find it online. It's in, there's numbers right on it. I'll get you the numbers, but it ain't gonna help you. I could find, you know, little stampings on it with a number and a company that makes it, but you definitely can't find this exact seal online. So basically I went back to this size because this is the wrong kind of seal. It's not a rubber coated seal, and it's only got the one lip, where this seal here has two lips on it. It's got your inner lip where your rubber band thing, or your, I keep calling it a rubber band, but your spring. See that spring goes around there? You know, obviously it's messed up, like I said, but, and see that lip right there? This extra lip right here. So that's a 2-lip seal versus a 1 over here. So, and what I think is this lip here keeps the dirt and stuff out of the seal. So what I come up with from a company called Harwell, and here is the seal here, and this is the size. 1.375 by 2.062 by 0.313. And how I got this size here was by calling up Napa, where I bought this seal, and actually getting the outside dimension and the inside dimension and the thickness of here. And that is what these numbers mean. So you got your outside, your inside, your outside, and this is the thickness of the seal. And they reference their seal numbers is the actual size. So this is Harwell that makes this seal. It's a tiny bit different than this stock seal that we got, but like I said, you can't find that seal. So here is the Harwell seal. So it has the spring around it. You can't really see it because I don't have it torn apart, but it has the spring. It's a completely rubber coated seal, just like this one. It's got a smaller lip on it. It does have the secondary lip. You can see it there, but it's not as prominent as this one. See how much bigger that one is? So we're gonna put this in there, and I will run this thing, and I'm hoping it works, because you can buy this seal, or this seal, the stock seal, you can get that in a kit. But the problem with it is the kit is $175 for the kit. And the kit is basically a complete rebuild kit, seal-wise, for these motors, these hydraulic motors. So these seals here, I spent $6 on these seals. So I had to buy 4 of them. So it was $24 plus shipping for these Harwell seals. So you can call that company and get those seals. Okay guys, so I got the gears on there. Just bolted them on, there's a cotter key that goes in there. This shaft is a tapered shaft, so that kind of presses on there. I had to kind of pull it off with a like a clutch puller that I made up for it. So that's how I got them off of there. The intention of this video is not to show you how to do this job. It's more or less to educate you on how to get that seal. Just wanted to show you before I get this track back on, kind of that I got that back together. I've started the machine and ran it and filled it full of oil. You know, my hydraulic oil, which is a 2050 oil. I filled that up. I've ran the machine. I've ran it, you know, spin it in reverse, forward, side to side, did anything. I can't get anything to leak. So I think we're in good shape. We'll see how it holds up, but I think that seal is going to do the job for this machine. So that's a big savings right there. But let me get the tracks on this. I'll put some more in this video if I can, and include some more info on where you can get parts for this machine if you want to fix these yourself, which I'm sure it's going to be very pricey to fix this thing if you hire it done. So stay tuned. Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to get these tracks on. I said this video is not for, the intentions aren't to show you how to do this job, but I am going to show you how to get the track back on, I think. I did this before one time, trying to remember how I did it, but I think we got to get it in the back here over the sprocket, if I remember right, and then kind of use a pry bar to push this end up, and then use the machine to roll it over the front here. Bear with me. I'm going to try to video this. I'm going to try to do it myself. Last time I had somebody helping me, so they were able to work the hydraulic end of it. I'm not sure if I can do this by myself, but I'm sure going to try, and I'm going to try to video it, so stay tuned. Try to show you the other side. Maybe I'll get a little better at it. Not gonna lie to you guys, that was a pain. Do yourself a favor, get 2 people so one guy can kind of hold the pry bar, the other guy can push the handle, because that was a pain in the butt. But I got her by myself. Not a lot of fun, but I don't have anybody here today, so there she is. Let me show you a couple of things here. You didn't see me take this apart, but here is your bolt right here that loosens the track up. There's a nut right here. So put your wrench on that nut and you'll loosen this all the way up. I actually put a clamp between here and here to pull that together. This thing slides in and out right here. There's a grease fitting here. So when you tighten this up, it actually puts pressure on the spring and the spring pushes against it. But you want to draw all that in when you're putting the track on, and that was probably the hardest part. But I got this backed out all the way with that nut, so there's really not much tension on the spring right now. But it's on. I'm sure there's a better way to do it than that, but like I said, 2 people for sure. One guy holding the crowbar, another guy working that throttle. I know last time I did it, it was way easier because I had my buddy here helping me. But that's that. I will take a rip around here with this thing in a minute. I got to tighten up the tracks. And you want about a 1/2 inch slack in the bottom of there after you tighten that up. When it's just hanging there, you want a 1/2 inch between your bottom rollers and your track. And that's where they say to put it. So we'll get her all put back together and get it off the blocks and take it for a rip and see how she works.